I hope you all are doing well. You're going to be watching a new style of video that I'm going to be doing as often as possible. I am at a new spot now where I want to be sharing more about my day-to-day life, certain processes that I go through, which are directly related to my trading. So I'm going to be filming a lot more. Anything that I think that's going to come as value to you, my trades, my process, anything I'm journaling, if I'm helping someone else, I'm gonna film it, document it here, share it on YouTube, and that's where you're gonna find it as often as I can. So this will be the first of many, and we're just gonna get right into it now. I'm gonna be going over my 2 trades from today. This has been a week where I'm looking at different markets. I'm usually exclusively trading indices, but if you haven't seen, the past few weeks have been extremely unfavorable, really on the higher time frames. If you look on the daily, just really going back and forth inside of a range and not delivering very well, which for me, if the daily is not clear, not giving me a narrative or a bias, then I can't do anything with it. I can't move forward from there because that's the foundation of my system and what makes my trades work. So since there's been an extended period of it being unfavorable, I started to look towards other markets, gold, oil, major Forex pairs like Euro and GU. And today I actually found 2 trades, one short on gold and then one long on GBP USD, which is just 6B on the futures contract, which is what I trade. And I'm going to be going over these 2 in specific as well because the higher time frame framework is so simple and so clear, and that's what creates these good trades. That's what I'm chasing in these markets. So it's a very repeatable and replicable framework. That's why I want to share with you here. And I'm just going to go top down. So let's just get right into the charts. I'm going to start here on gold and just mark out that weekly opening day. Now, Monday and Tuesday's daily candle are getting blended into the same one because there was a bank holiday, and I'm doing this on the futures chart, and that's why you're going to see it this way. But this is the weekly opening, and I know it's not actionable initially because I have a failure swing off the low here. And then I also have failure swing off the high. And I'm pretty much waiting for one of these sides of the market to be engaged. I can't trade this higher, can't trade it lower. And today we have that first point being reached up into that external high of the range. It's a Thursday, so within the weekly range context, there's a Monday or Tuesday low. I can counter that back into the range. I know we've engaged that relevant high. There's nothing else beyond that point that I need to be thinking of. We have a manipulation. Now I just want that daily profile alignment. And here, looking at this, there is the daily open, trading higher initially up into that high, and then that is plenty that I need to see where we have a London reversal, and then I would assume a New York continuation. So Asia session trading higher, London potential reversal. If I break this down to a 15-minute, you have a run of a short-term high and then a change in state of delivery noted here with this close. So looking back on this, when I'm coming to my charts during New York, looking back, daily profile is aligned with a London reversal. I'm going to look for a continuation signature, and the first one that I have is these up close candles being formed. Assuming the market's already in a continuation, I expect up close candles that are closed below to be held within this trend. So if I'm right, now we have this 15-minute close below, another run of a short-term high, stop loss goes at this high here, and I can set up that short on this close, selling the open of this candle. I don't need a retest, and I'm looking for at least 1.5R. That is that trade here. Now I know this can go farther. We have an obvious swing here. That would be an objective, but this was actually my first time ever opening an actual trade on gold. I've done analysis on it in the past, but this is my first time actually executing on it. And I took my 1.5R, a very simple trade in the continuation, taken out here. And that is all it is. It's daily time frame, looking for that framework, getting confirmation in the daily profile, and then trading that continuation signature, focus on the New York session. That's a quick 1.5R trade. Now I'm going to move over to GBP USD, and I'll cover that trade as well. Here on GU, I'm going to do the exact same thing, marking out Monday so you can see that weekly open, because every new week I'm reestablishing my bias, going into it with a fresh perspective. Monday, not a trading day. Tuesday, range within Monday's candle, so I'm looking and moving that over to Wednesday. We have a potential reversal taking place, so that intra-week low being run out on Wednesday, and I could look towards Thursday to potentially be a continuation, because when I look within Wednesday's candle on the hourly, I want to see a confirmation that that reversal has taken place so I can actually trade away from that low. And we have this series of down close candles running into that low, closed above here. and that is my change in state of delivery. Now I have a Wednesday low, assuming a Thursday continuation to the upside. If I just go back out to the daily, we're just continuing that trend. Now this was also valid on Euro as well, and it actually had a really nice follow through. Some swings above that are acting as targets, Wednesday being a reversal, Thursday continuation. I just took GU on this because when we get to this entry signature, it was a little bit better defined, and overall it's just been relatively stronger. So if I go here, reversal confirmation, new day open, and this is a different type of daily profile where if I'm trading the New York session and we've already started that continuation here, I'm just looking for that first continuation signature, which after 7 o'clock on Forex, I'm going to use as New York. I'm going to drop down to a 30-minute. And here I can see my entry signature being formed and being offered. We have a down close candle being formed, running out a short-term low at 7, a new close above, and I love it when it's offered on this higher time frame. Close above, taking an entry within this next candle, and I actually got a really good fill on this. Stop loss goes at the opposing swing on that opposing candle or a down close candle because I'm assuming the market's in a continuation to the upside. Now we have plenty of room to get higher, and I took one partial off here and then another up here for a 2.5R trade, and that is more than I need. And if you can just see, these are super simple setups. This is why I'm looking at different markets while indices are trading a bit odd, because these are things that you can look at immediately and find opportunity. And that's why what I just went through, when you can find that in a market that you trade, that's golden, and that's what you want to be trading. So because the market just closed, I'm going to be doing some analysis for what my plan is tomorrow and sending that out to the people in my group. And we're just going to be looking for simple setups. I want to have trading days where I can look in the previous day, and that's setting up something for me to go into for tomorrow, because I want to have a set plan, something that I can follow, knowing, yes, you have a trade because this happened, or no, I don't have a trade because it didn't align with my plan. So I'm going to go into the charts now, send some things out, and I'll share what I'm looking for going into tomorrow. These are the two setups that are looking good. So Euro here, it looks valid for a continuation signature higher. Friday, looking for a continuation to these two failure swings in respect to previous day's range. We just closed above these down closed candles, assuming that should support price in the continuation. I'm just using daily profile as a confirmation. So for now, just an idea. But then we look over to NQ as well. Something somewhat similar. Again, a continuation idea. Ranged price action Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday creating a reversal, closing back into the range on the daily candle. So I'm looking for, in respect to previous day wick, a potential continuation higher into the opposing side of the range. Now these are all ideas, and they actually turn actionable with an alignment of a bullish daily profile in respect to these invalidation points that I have set. Here we got a long going in on NQ. This is from the analysis yesterday. Price is in respect to that invalidation point and giving a bullish daily profile. And this is the continuation signature. After the reversal confirmation here, we're looking for the continuation signature and a 1.5R to 2R trade. And I'm gonna see how this plays out for the rest of the day. And this is really where I like to enter. It is about 7 o'clock where I got that entry, and my best trades are going to come around this time. And then if I get that luxury to hold through the open at 9:30, I'm really going to be taking that as an advantage. So we'll see if that's offered. If not, it's very possible that this trade can work out. Prior to that, I'll probably be scaling out just before the open, because obviously anything can happen. But this is the trade for today. I don't think I'm going to have any focus anywhere else. So we'll come back around to see where this trade ends up. For these times, I really do my best to stay as composed as possible and just looking for what I need to do in the moment, because every second the market is giving me some form of information. Should you hold longer? Should I just fully close this position, end my day here? And this is what I'm tracking now. I'm going to be looking back and forth between pairs, ES and NQ. Very correlated. I know ES right now is slightly weaker, so if that starts pulling through, NQ is going to take off. So I'm tracking both of these things, especially as it's hitting objectives. going into the open, these volatility drivers, and that's going to sway the way I manage this trade. But for now, it's a secured win. It just depends how much I can take from it. It is now several hours later from that last clip that you just saw. So today's obviously Friday. It's nighttime now, and there's a few things that I wanted to point out that I think are super important in my personal routine that I want to share with you. And the first is that what you're seeing right now is that when I'm trading in the morning, I care about my active trading, executing my plan, and then I stop for the middle of the day. I don't start journaling, I don't start reflecting, I don't think much about what's happening in the market. I execute in the morning. That's where I'm focused on, that early New York session. Once I'm done and I know I'm not trading for the rest of that day, I have no more opportunity, I'm skipping to later in the day. I want to have a fresh perspective before I think about anything in my trading performance related, and I want to be coming back around later in the day when I don't feel any type of way about the market. I don't care much of what happened before, and now I can go back into the market or back into at least my trades, the decisions that I made, and then really reflect, fully honest with myself and fully unbiased about what was going on. So that's what I'm about to do now. And earlier today, I had that one trade. And the second thing that I really wanted to point out is that you notice that I took a winning trade alongside my plan on a day where now I'm going to look back on it. The entire day went against my initial bias. I was bullish going into the day, and today went bearish pretty significantly. So I was looking to the upside, and the market went completely against what I was looking for. Yet I followed my plan, executed my trade, and saw what the market was offering me, reacted to it, managed accordingly, and I came out on a winning day when you can look back on it and say, oh, it looks like something crazy must have went wrong. No, I just followed my plan. And you can be wrong and still make money. That's something that I think, of course, I wanted my trade to work out, but it's nice to show these things because this is the reality. You're not always going to get home run trades, but you can see how my process got me through it. And I think it's a super important lesson because it's going to happen probably more than you assume. Quickly getting into the charts, I'm going to talk about how I actually arrived at my plan. Why was I looking to the upside? We can obviously see price traded lower, and that's especially important why I'm doing this later in the day, because this doesn't matter to me. I'm reflecting on my plan itself. Was it logical, and is it going to hold up over time where it works out more in my favor versus in times when it doesn't? And when I was looking at this market here, we have Monday/Tuesday. It's blended into one candle again because there's a bank holiday on Monday. Wednesday ranged within Monday/Tuesday's daily candle. Thursday comes in, trades below that intra-week low, and that here is a manipulation closing aggressively back into the range. There I have an opposing draw of these two failure swings, and then if I zoom out even more for added context, we have this high here left open on NQ that can be drawn into. I'm also going to look at ES to see if there's anything else it's telling me or if it disagrees with this. But we also, again, have a high that price can be drawn into. So I'm fairly confident in this framework. This is very high quality, looking to the upside. I used 50% of that wick, wanting that to be respected here. If a daily profile, a bullish one, forms above this level here on Friday, that turns this into an actionable trade. That's my confirmation piece. I'm going to go down to the 15-minute. Here we have Friday opening up, making a shallow opposing run, running out an intraday low, a change in state of delivery, these down close candles at the point I'm assuming a reversal is taking place. That's the confirmation of that low. And then again, I don't want to enter on the reversal, although you can if you're comfortable with it. I'm more focused on the continuation after that. We have another run of a short-term low, series of down close candles on the 15-minute. Closed above, very obviously. That is what I want to see. And these are the trades that I really like to take. I like to be positioned prior to the open. This close here, stop loss goes at this low, and I'm looking for targets on the left side of that chart, ultimately the opposing side of the range on the daily. This is offering me really good risk to reward, and I ended up getting partials off on this trade, mainly because I understand that 9:30 is a significant driver for the day. It always is for the indices market, but especially today because there's no 8:30 news, there's no 10 o'clock news. all the focus is at 9:30. You heard me mention this earlier. I like to be positioned prior because the trade's already working in my favor, and I expect 9:30 to help me even more. So I'm looking for 9:30 to push all the way to these other objectives. I'm also aware that 9:30 can be the time where everything goes wrong. I don't want to have a full position on, because if that goes against me, then I was in a trade that was once up 2R that I could then take a losing trade on. That's unacceptable. That's why I'm scaling out here and here, understanding that 9:30 is coming through potentially to my benefit, but I also know that's a time where things can go wrong. And here is one where it went against my bias. It didn't go alongside what I was looking for, and that happens. I was scaled out of the last part of that position at even here, and that is all it is, because my execution is really what matters on a trade like this. Everything was aligning, and as I reflect back on this, I don't care about what's happening here. This is a repeatable plan, a repeatable process. Everything was done right in the moment. We don't think in hindsight, we don't trade in hindsight. So in the moment, I'm doing everything I need to, and I can check that off my list, and I'm not concerned with any of my performance for today, regardless of what the outcome of how that daily candle printed against my bias. And again, I think it's super important to show this because it really highlights process over anything that's happening in hindsight. And it's really reinforcing why I wait until later in the day to do any sort of review, any sort of reflection on my decisions, because I want to be doing it with no bias, no attachment for what the day did. In the moment, did I make the right decisions? Over time, is that going to lead me into consistency and put me on side in the better trades? And I can say today, yes, it was. With it now being Saturday, this is capping off the end of my week. Just to give a little bit of insight, Saturday to me is the end of the previous week and a day where I usually take a step back a little bit, reset my mind, because I see Sunday as going into a new week. That's usually where I am setting my plan. I've already reflected on my previous week performance. I know what I have to do going into the new week to make sure I'm always keeping that consistency, but I'm setting up my new plan and getting mentally prepared for that new week. So ending off my week, I'm also ending off this video here as well. So if you found this style of video helpful, the lessons that I'm sharing here, the process that I'm giving insight to, if you do want to see more of that, please do let me know down below, and I will continue to do these. And with that said, I will see you in the next one.